What's up, guys? Mason Aka ValorAsh here, ready to present to you one of my favorite picks for the Nightmare Cup, and that Pokemon is Xatu. Xatu functions as a psychic type in the fact that he beats the fighting types with his flying type damage. He double resists fighting type Pokemon with his psychic and flying typing, and he gets a leg up on the other psychic type Pokemon as he can hit them with super effective damage from Ominous Wind, which also gives him a chance to boost his attack and defense. Xatu, I believe, is one of those mold breaker Pokemon in the rock, paper, scissors meta that we're going to see develop in the Nightmare Cup, as he beats not only the fighting types, but the psychic types as well. In this battle that I'm going to be doing against Laser Brian, who is one of my favorite Squim partners, he's usually up always late at night. He is undefeated in his themed cups, and he's quite skilled as a trainer, as you'll see soon. For Xatu, I'm going to use him as a lead Pokemon to try and pick up those fighting Pokemon, trying to get the ball rolling with the power-up punches. And for coverage, Xatu doesn't really like to run into Dark-type Pokemon, so I threw in Shiftry to resist Dark-type damage and deal incredible amounts of damage back with Razor Leaf, and Toxicroak, who is very useful for dealing with the dark poison types, who gives both Xatu and Shiftry some problems. So hopefully as a lead, we hope to see either a psychic or fighting type Pokemon, and if not, then we'll have contingency plans with either Toxicroak or Shiftry. So this is going to deal neutral damage to Lucario, as his steel typing resists flying, but the fighting subtype of him is weak to the flying, so we'll take neutral damage. Just going to farm up a little bit of energy here before pulling the trigger. Again, I double resist fighting, so I can eat a power-up punch, not a big deal. So I'm going to go into the next battle with a little bit of energy stored up. Enough for either an Ominous Wind or Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is going to do well against Blaziken as well. Blaziken's quite fragile. As you can see, those air slashes from Xatu really chunked away his health. Toxicroak, again, a good pick because his poison subtyping allows him to resist the fighting damage that Blaziken deals out with counter. So I'm just going to farm up some energy here, as I know Blaziken doesn't have a lot of shield pressure. Brave Bird just doesn't farm that fast, and this is a good matchup for us, as I have the energy lead. Going to get him with a second Mud Bomb here. It's going to be super effective damage. And I'll just punch him to death. Shielded for good measure. Awesome. Only use 2 of our Pokemon, so Shiftry remains a secret in the back. So that lineup did pretty well. We're going to go ahead and just run it again. Oh yeah, as you can see, I spent $500 for the... $500? 500 coins! Goodness, 500 coins for that pose. I really love that pose, as it looks like the gym leaders from the mainstream games. So he didn't bluff a Shadow Ball. If he would have bluffed a Shadow Ball, he probably would have drawn a shield from me. But again, double resistance to fighting. I'm sitting in a pretty good position right now. I'm just going to farm it for energy right now. So I'm down a shield, but I have an incredible amount of damage built up right now with Xatu. An Ominous Wind has a chance to boost me, even though I'm at such low health. It wouldn't really matter. Ooh. Confusion got me before I could get another one off. So good with Shiftry. Shiftry's a good option because he resists confusion damage, and he chunks right into Hypno. So his next Pokemon is going to have a double shield advantage, but Shiftry does a really good job, even with the shield disadvantage. Except for Pokemon like Toxicroak. They could hit him with super effective damage. So I hit him with a Leaf Tornado. I'm at no shields. Toxicroak has a bunch of energy built up. He's likely just going to double Mud Bomb me here. Not sitting in a very good position. There's not too much I can do about this. A lot of that battle really hinged on me getting that second Ominous Wind off, which unfortunately I didn't get time to fire because of that confusion damage from Hypno just got me there at the end. Of course, now I get his battle invite. So he's been burned with Lucario lead twice in a row. I'm going to try and lead Shiftry. See if I can catch one of his psychic types off guard. And I like to run these three together as they make nice mold breakers. Because Shiftry, even though he's a dark type, immediate switch out for me. Hold on here. Shiftry, even though he's a dark type, will resist a lot of dark damage and deal quite a considerable damage out with his Razor Leafs. He really likes that Hypno. So Hypno's not going to be too much of a problem for us with Shiftry here. And we know that Lucario's coming out next to answer our Shiftry. So I'm not going to shield that attack. My best thing that I can do here is hopefully just get off a Leaf Tornado, try and lower Lucario's attack. And then come out with Xatu. Hopefully it's just a power-up punch. There we go. Those I can eat. And I'm just going to farm him for some energy here. I'm going to go ahead and use that second shield. Even though it's not going to do a lot of damage, I have 2 shields left, and I'd rather not go into the last matchup with only 50% health left. Ooh, this is a very good matchup for us. So Toxicroak attack is so high that Xatu's double resistance to fighting is really not showing. Regardless though, we come out with a solid win with Aerial Ace and super effective damage at the end. Fantastic. So he's really liking that double fighting for whatever reason. He's running Hypno a lot as well. This matchup's been going quite well for me. I'm just going to change the order up a little bit. Keep Xatu in there. As I was saying earlier, Shiftry's a mold breaker because he resists that dark type damage that a lot of the other dark types are doing towards him. And he deals out incredible amounts of damage with that Razor Leaf that is largely unresisted by this cup, except for the poison subtypes. And for the poison subtypes, I also bought along Toxicroak. See if we can catch him with the Lucario lead. Awesome. So Toxicroak again with his poison subtyping resists Lucario's counter damage, and Hypno is not a battle that we want to see. So we'll get in Shiftry as quick as we can. You cannot afford to be slow on your switches with Toxicroak, as that psychic damage is double effective against him, so we'll eat right into him. We'll farm up just enough for a Leaf Tornado and hopefully sink it into Lucario, who's going to switch in and attempts to lower his attack. Attack fell. Awesome. Buff went through. So I'm going to bring Toxicroak back out. Draw a shield with Mud Bomb. Oh, he decided not to shield. I wonder what he has in back. Ah, Skuntank. This will surely draw a shield. This would be super effective damage. So this could potentially be a bad matchup for Xatu. Luckily we have 2 shields in the bank, so we'll be able to resist as many crunches as Skuntank is ready to throw at us. Sludge Bomb, interesting choice. I do believe that the best moveset for Skuntank in this cup is Crunch and Flamethrower. Flamethrower is good for that neutral damage as always, and Crunch, you want for that super effective damage against the Psychic types you're going to be running into a lot. He seems to be incredibly stubborn with that Toxicroak lead. We'll try that one more time. Again, if he leads with Hypno, I have 2 contingency plans, as all these Pokemon cover their weaknesses pretty well. Or each other's weaknesses, I should say. Immediate switch out for us. We're going to go for Shiftry. I'm just going to eat this anyways and die. Even though Lucario resists Razor Leaf, you can see just how much damage that did to him. So I'm going to send in Xatu, knowing full well that that Hypno is coming for me in the back. I was also going to wait out the switch clock a little bit there. We'll farm up some energy and see what the next matchup holds for us. Completely unexpected. Tyranitar is a very hard wall to Xatu. That dark typing, as well as the rock typing, is not good for him. So while Tyranitar boasts a double weakness to fighting, Toxicroak unfortunately boasts a double weakness to psychic damage. So we are toast, and no shields were used in that match. So he's been catching on to my Xatu trick. I'm going to see if I can change it up. I'm going to use Drapion now, one of my other favorite picks for this Nightmare Cup. I'll be sure and highlight him in a future video. So the double darks here, I'm going to need to protect him. Protect them from fighting types, as I have good enough coverage against psychic types. So we'll lead with Toxicroak, and then should he lead with Hypno, we have 2 contingency plans in the back. And contingency plan number 1. So unfortunately that matchup is going to have to be seen later down the line. And this is a hard counter match for me right here, because nothing that I do to him deals super effective damage. Aqua Tail is going to be resisted. Crunch is resisted. It's just not a pretty picture for Drapion. Yeah, did not do very much damage at all. I'm quite surprised that he shielded it. As you notice though, Drapion is quite spammy in his moves. So, even though it's not very effective, it's taking out a good amount of his health. So we're going to take super effective damage from his Mud Shot, but I want to be able to switch out of that Hypno matchup later. Just immediate switch out. So our only hope is that Shiftry can go through the next 2 Pokemon. And with super effective damage to Tyranitar, you can see how quickly it shreds through him. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Leaf Tornado, try and reduce his attack damage. And with 2 shields in the bank, we're sitting pretty on this matchup. Psychic, interesting choice. There's a lot of good confusion users for this cup. Hypno is one of them. I believe that Hypno is best complemented with the legacy moveset Shadow Ball, and if you can't get a hold of that, I would start to look into other options such as Gardevoir with its incredibly high attack, confusion, nukes, anything that is weak to Psychic, and Bronzong, who does a really good amount of neutral damage with either Heavy Slam or Flash Cannon. So he's been leading that Hypno quite a lot and getting pretty comfortable with it, so I'm going to meet him, hopefully, with Shiftry. And despite Hypno being so tanky, Shiftry just eats right into him. See if I can sub this Toxicroak out. Back for Xatu. Now, it's very important that if we don't catch a fighting type on the lead, I'm probably going to switch Xatu out because a fighting type in the back would probably wreck me. As fighting would destroy both Drapion and Xatu. So here we're going to swap into Shiftry. Here comes a fighting Pokemon, Lucario. Interesting, interesting. So Lucario's so classy, and Ridge Leaf hits so hard again, it just eats right into Lucario. That was only a few power-up punches, couldn't be Shadow Ball. That's why I decided to eat that attack. And now I'm ready for his next 2 Pokemon. Hopefully not Tyranitar. Of course it is Tyranitar. Oh, I got the buff out of it, but it's too late. So Drapion deals super effective damage with his Bug Fast attack. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it's just enough. And with Tyranitar's slow charge, it's going to hit me pretty hard on the smackdown damage, but I'll be able to meet my next opponent with a flurry of crunches. So I'm going to try and Shield Bait one off with Aquatail. Ooh, looks like I got too greedy. I should have fired an Aquatail into Tyranitar. Close, close, close. So one of the key things about my playstyle is I'm a very aggressive energy farmer. If I believe that I can finish a Pokemon off with just fast attacks and meet the next Pokemon with a flurry of charge attacks, that's definitely something that I'm going to go for. That's just my aggressive playstyle. Often, as you can see, I get burned for it, but more times than not, I get rewarded for it. Because if he had anything less than 2 shields, that Hypno would have been dead. So I know that he's holding Lucario back. I want to see if I can sacrificially swap something else that Lucario might want to latch onto. Because Shiftry can go through both Tyranitar and his Hypno. Yeah, I'm just going to sacrificially swap Drapion. Why not? This is a good matchup for us as we're going to get to Ominous Wind faster than Hypno is going to get the Shadow Ball. And because Hypno is so tanky, one of the few Psychic types that Xatu actually has a problem with is Hypno. I'd prefer switch advantage, so I'm going to hold on to this first matchup. Get off this ominous wind. Just a sliver of health left. But just enough for me to get switch advantage. So switch advantage is when he switches something in. I switch in something super effective against it. He tries to counter it, and then I can just switch out. But by this point, the damage has been done with Shiftry. Worst case scenario would be a Lucario in the back. So I'm going to try and nerf his attack with a Leaf Tornado. Looks like it didn't get the boost. Looks like he'll get one power-up punch off. If it doesn't finish me off, then I'll be able to finish him off with an Aqua Tail. Just a sliver of health. Ooh, he got me. I needed an answer to a fighting type in the back, which is the problem with running two dark types. With 2% battery left, we're going to try and round this out with one more battle. I've been leading off with Xatu quite a lot. It's been quite predictable. I'm going to attempt to hit him with a curveball that he is not ready for. Actually, most of my problems would be solved if I swapped back to my original lineup. So I have Toxicroak as a fighting type that also beats the other fighting types. I have Shiftry as a dark type, who more functions as a grass type. But this is a good matchup for us. But he also beats the other dark types. A little bit of lag, that's okay. You can see how incredibly slow that was. There he is. Now he's running up to speed. Oh, this is also a very good matchup for us. I wonder if he has Tyranitar in the back, because I'm not sure why he would have sent out Lucario. It's probably not the brightest idea, but I'm going to shield that just to get a little bit more damage out of Lucario than I can. Awesome, and I have a Mud Bomb ready for whatever the last Pokemon is, hopefully in attempts to draw his final shield. Looks like he's not going to shield it and just eat it. And we'll come in with Shiftry and clean up right now. Awesome. Nice cleanup. Alright, thank you guys very, very much for watching. Special shout out to Blandon for letting me post on his YouTube channel. I hope that you appreciated some of the battles that I was able to show you with Xatu. As always, I invite you to join our PvP Discord. I'll leave a link in the comments. And I'm always open to constructive criticism, as well as comments or questions that you guys might have for me. And I hope to provide y'all with some quality PvP content showcasing some of my favorite picks for this next Nightmare Cup. Thank you guys for watching.